crazy about bikes. I learned riding when I was 16. It was always my dream to own something that would turn heads. My Interceptor did that for me. This is Shorin from Happy Miles, and today I'm going to give you an ownership review of my Royal Enfield Interceptor. So first things first, let's talk about the engine. So this engine is quite buttery smooth, and we all know about the specs and everything. It's got 47 bhp of power and 52 Nm of torque. But most of the torque comes at very low RPM, which helps the rider to overtake in the highways and everything. Yeah, the city looks more beautiful in the morning, guys. And it was a 14-day lockdown here in Kolkata, and after that it was extended, to 30 days, and we're kind of stuck here. So 12 to 6 p.m. right? So okay, this is kind of a drive. Okay, so the engine is quite good, in the city as well. You don't feel the weight because at the low RPM the power comes, so you're not feeling the weight as long as you're above the speed of 20 or 30 and the bike gets rolling. And the engine grunt is really, really good. The gear shifts are quick and precise. As long as 8,500 kilometers are covered, and I don't feel anything with the clutch or the brakes. And first of all, I would like to tell you that this bike comes at a price of 3.20 lakhs on road. So it's quite value for money from Royal Enfield actually. So if you think about it, the amount of the kind of engine that it provides and the kind of refinement that it gives and all the quality of the parts and everything, it's quite good actually. Yeah, it's really difficult to contempt the power you've got. So in open roads like this, it's really difficult to hold on to this bike up to 50 or 60 kilometers speed limit that we have here. Already I'm not sticking at 60, and this is very, very difficult, guys, I'm telling you. So this kind of power, this kind of oozles of power you've got, and this basically is enough for Indian roads. So let me tell you about my rides that I've done, but I'm not recorded because frankly speaking, I didn't have the GoPro back then, but I visited North Bengal, and that's quite a hilly ride. Then I went to the plane ride, that is to Varanasi, and both of the rides were above 3,000 kilometers. Yeah, the Varanasi one, I think it was a little less, but yeah, the North Bengal rides were above 3,000 kilometers, and it was steep hills and everything. And not just that, it was kind of what I would tell you, it's kind of an off-road patches were there. So this bike handled it quite well. Holding this bike at 3000 RPM, and at the fourth gear you are at 60, and just holding the throttle, and it's quite good. Feels good. And believe me, coming from a 150cc bike, this is a bliss. Now, if you are comparing this with other 650s in the market, like the Kawasaki and I don't know, the Trident latest release was there from Triumph, so then you're mistaken actually. You see the price range and you see that at that price point, it's possible for the companies to give you much more refinement and much more things actually, much more quality. At this price point, what Royal Enfield is providing you is with a lot of value for money. Okay, so next let's talk about the riding ergonomics. So the riding ergonomics for me is quite fine. If you're expecting something like the classic 350, then this will be a little uncomfortable because the seating posture is quite leaning forward, and forward pegs, lightly backward pegs, and all that. But all in all, it's good actually. Okay, so this is where this bike becomes a bliss. That is the highways. This bike is almost, something, it will cruise around 100 and 120 all day long. And you will feel no pressure, no heat on the throttle, anything. Okay, so this is the, kind of the cruising speed starts from here and all the way up to, if you see, you can go let me shift to gear. You're getting the traffic. If you don't, we can easily cruise around the speed of 100, 120. So let's talk about the next thing with this bike, that is the suspension. So the suspension on this bike is, the front suspension is not quite up to the mark, and the bumps, you'll feel it a lot, there will be cluttering and everything. So yeah, it's not up to the mark for my views and things, but you can always upgrade it to the YSS, and I'm thinking of doing it too. But let me just toss this one. Yeah, one thing that I learned: never go in between the trucks. So I was telling you about the suspension, right? So suspension, you can upgrade it, and I'm also thinking of upgrading it to the YSS. But yeah, it sets you back by around 20,000 for the front one, and 60 to 70,000 for the rear one. I think from the Hitchcock motorcycles you can order it, and they will ship it. So yeah, I'm looking for that. I'm going to do my modification, and I'll just share my review with you people. So another thing with this bike is the looks actually, which I didn't talk about. Yeah, it stands out, yes. So in the crowd, if you are there, people will notice and they will turn back heads. So yeah, this is a head turner. This color actually, this Baker Express, I'll tell you my owning experience. I booked this around June, and I got it about November, and this was in 2019 when, so this is a base 4 model, and so 5 months wait. Yeah, I love this grunt. Yeah, I love the sound of this silencer. But yeah, I will, if I get the money, I will change the silencer to SNS. There is a quite a good actually. That sounds really good. So in third gear, it goes around 70. Yeah, you can stretch it to 80, 90 as well. But yeah, it goes up to without stress up to 70. And if you think in the fourth gear, it will go about to 90, I think. Yeah, up to 90. And then from the fifth gear onwards, just add 10 or 20 kilometers more. And this is the cruising speed in every gear. So the next thing would be talking about the practicality of the bike. In the city use or in the highway use for touring purpose, whatever you got it. So I'll cover each one of them one by one. So the first thing is for the city use. Yeah, this bike is quite heavy, and if you are going on a stop and go traffic, you will feel the weight. So yes, in the cities, when you get a good stretches of good roads and everything, this bike is fine. But in a stop go traffic, you will feel the weight. And if it's not a problem for you, then it's fine. It's fine. And this bike is quite big, so in the parking as well, if you're going somewhere crowded, it will be difficult to park it. Yeah. But for the city use, another thing that is quite useful is the low and ground. So overtaking other vehicles is just a matter of time, just a matter of seconds actually. Yes. Next, I will talk about let's talk about the highway. The highway experience, as I told you, is a bliss, basically. If you're cruising at a speed of 100 to 120 on Indian roads, then you can't ask more from a bike. But yeah, the minor potholes, if you're receiving one in the highways, then it will create some problems. Yeah, because the suspension is quite hard. But apart from that, the highway purpose, it serves beautifully. Okay, for touring, the first thing that I would like to tell you is for touring this bike's mileage. Let's talk about the mileage then. The mileage is threefold basically. The one thing is if you're riding it hardcore, going at 4,000, 5,000 RPM and everything, you're pulling the bike hard, then you're going to get around 24 to 26 maximum. But if you're riding it quite, with a peace of mind and cruising it beautifully, and every gear you're not crossing the 4,000 mark, then you're going to get around 28 kilometers per liter. Because how I calculated this, I actually went to a 3,000 kilometer ride and I calculated the mileage. So yeah, it was around this 28 kilometer per liter mark. Okay, the next thing to talk about is the luggage carrying capacity. Okay, for that, let me park it somewhere, and yeah. Okay. So just for a moment I get on the bike. So you can fit a tail bag around here, and this tail bag fits quite here. But the offset cylinders, the saddlebags, the normal saddlebags that you get, it's not going to fit here. So you don't have to get the saddlebags which are there for the offset cylinders, and yeah, and for the tank bag, that's fine. Yeah, the tank is big. You can have a magnetic tank bag as well. So the luggage carrying capacity is quite good. And there are also panniers, I think. If you if you can get a Jugaad or something like that, that's not there officially from Enfield, but yeah, you can get them, I think, from somewhere. I don't know, some people might have got them. So for touring purpose, this bike is quite a bliss actually. Yes, but if you are going for some adventure kind of riding, then yeah, then I would tell you to be cautious. And yeah, again, another thing is that if you are handling this bike well, this is a very heavy bike. So and the suspension is not that good. So controlling this bike in those off-road patches will be a bit of a tough thing. If you can manage that, then just go for it. Some speed. Okay. Expensive, but yeah, this is the speed that you can cruise around, But yeah, the wind blast is quite a lot. Yes. Also, this is not a good the good place to cruise around at 120. Just to show you that this bike doesn't feel stressed, and I have also one gear at my hand. So I didn't change the gear. So you can think about it. Yeah, I pulled it up to around 160 on this bike, and yeah, it is like it's stressing the bike, but yeah, it's manageable. You get up to 6,000, 7,000 RPM, and you can get into that speed. To maintain the bike, basically what happens is the service interval is up to 10,000 kilometers. But I would suggest you go for 6,000, 7,000 kilometers and then change your engine oil. So what I'm following is that only, and to be safe, just lubricate your chain after 1,000 and 1,500 or 1,500 kilometers. Yeah, it's a good practice. I know to lubricate around 500, but yeah, I prefer not to lubricate it around that point. But yeah, after 1,000, I would lubricate and wash my chain and everything. So if you are going to buy a Royal Enfield, and if you like if you have a budget of around 3 lakhs, I think this is a bike which is value for money. And like up to 3 lakhs, what choice you've got? You've got the Duke 390, which is kind of a street bike, which is you have got the Kawasaki. I think the Kawasaki 300 retails at around 3.5 and more. There is a BMW GS310 that is also of that range. So it really is a choice of what you want, actually, what kind of bike you want, and what is the purpose. So if touring is the purpose, then this bike is going to beat all of them. Not all of them, yeah. I think I don't want to comment about the BMWs because I have not ridden them. But yeah, there is the maintenance thing in the for the BMWs. So this Royal Enfield can be maintained in a very low cost. Okay, yeah, so that's about it. So to sum up, this bike, I'm going to keep it for long. So this is one of the bike that is, for me, it is an all-purpose bike. And yeah, so that's it from Happy Minds. Let's meet you in my next video.